Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Now everyone is going out for activities. My husband once again reminds everyone to protect themselves when socializing.
Now, a small business is a little bit different. Here in the US, businesses generally have better ventilation. They have commercial ventilation systems, and the air is exchanged more often, and they are more likely to have filters in their ventilation system. And so in a small business, you reduce the overall risk down to a middle risk category. Now, another thing that can change your risk, even if you are in a small room in a home or a small business, is whether somebody opens the window. If you open the window, you dramatically change the ventilation in a small room in your house or even in a small business. If there is air flowing in and out, you reduce your risk quite a bit. So when you have the opportunity and your situation is small room at home or small business, it is important to try and choose places that have open windows.
It's okay?
It's okay with me. I just don't know if you want that in your video.
Okay. Talking, okay.
Okay, is it turned on?
Yeah.
Okay, I asked you not to do that yet.
Okay.
Okay, so in a small room, even with poor ventilation, where the virus can saturate the air, there is an easy way to change that. If we simply open the window, we dramatically change the ventilation in the room, and it now becomes very, very difficult for the virus to ever saturate the air. So even if one person in the room has the virus, you can dramatically lower the risk of other people, even in a small room, becoming sick if you simply open the window. And then, of course, if you are meeting other people outside, there is lots and lots of ventilation. Even if you don't notice the wind, there is plenty of air exchange almost every place that is outside. And when you are outside, it is basically impossible for the air to become saturated with the virus, even if someone in your environment is very sick. Now, if they are coughing or sneezing or yelling right at you, you certainly increase your risk. But just by being near them, if you're outside, your risk is very, very low. Outdoors, there is plenty of air, there is a light breeze blowing. It would be absolutely impossible for the air to become saturated with water droplets that are containing the virus. So you can see here we are still sitting apart. We are avoiding laughing, sneezing, singing, coughing at each other. But more importantly, there is lots and lots of ventilation. So our chances of any one person making another person sick is almost zero in an outdoor environment like this. Since we are both vaccinated, the chance really becomes essentially zero. There is very nearly zero chance of getting each other sick in an outdoor setting like this if we are both vaccinated and there is plenty of ventilation. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is something that you certainly can control, and that's whether or not you wear a mask. Whether it is a cloth mask or a surgical mask or an N95, those will change your risks slightly, but the biggest issue is whether or not you wear a mask at all. If you wear no mask, you are risking being in a high-risk situation.
Yeah.
If there is anybody around who is infected and maybe that person does not even know it, and nobody is wearing any masks, you might be in a high-risk situation and not even know it.
Yeah.
Now, when you wear a mask, it does protect you a little bit. And it can bring your risk down to somewhere in the range of high risk to middle risk. Wearing a mask is not much protection for you, but it is a little bit. If somebody talks at you from very close or sneezes in your direction from even 10, 12 feet away, and they happen to be infected, some of the virus particles will land on your mask instead of directly on your nose or mouth. And that will help protect you a little bit from being infected. What the mask does very well, and we have lots of studies to show this, what the mask does very well is it protects others.
Yeah.
If the people in any given situation are all wearing masks, then everyone is protected very well. If just you is wearing a mask and you happen to be infected and you don't even know it, then you are very effectively protecting others. And that's because the virus does not float in the air by itself. The virus is inside water droplets from your talking, your sneezing, your coughing, your singing. And when you wear a mask, the mask dramatically prevents those droplets of moisture that are even microscopic from getting out into the environment. The larger droplets that carry vastly more virus are extremely well protected from getting away from you and landing on others. So one of the things you can do that will dramatically change your risk situation is wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So I want to use all of this information to think a little bit about going out to dinner with friends tomorrow night,
Yeah.
and how I think about our risk in that situation. So overall, I want to use all of these to think about my average risk to me, to you, and to other people in that situation. So the new case rate is up some, but overall it is still relatively low in the county. We are at only 2% testing positive in our county. That's up from last week, but it is still quite low.
Okay.
Our vaccination status, our vaccination, we are both vaccinated for a long time now, and so I feel quite sure that our vaccinations, we've both had 2 doses, that puts us in a low risk category for that issue. We're choosing vaccinated friends. Indoor ventilation, we're going to be in a large business. The restaurant is one big open room and has lots of ventilation. And because it is so hot outside, I know that the air conditioners will be running full blast. I know that this restaurant has very high ceilings, like 20 feet high. So there is lots and lots of air. The chances that the room will become saturated with anybody's virus is almost zero. Well, excuse me, not almost zero, it is low.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
It is low.
depending on the weather tomorrow night, we might even choose to sit on the patio,
Yeah.
which would reduce our risk very, very much.
Yeah.
Now, we will not be able to mask while we're eating, of course. but we will only be with people who are vaccinated. We can wear masks while we are waiting in line at the front of the restaurant. We can wear masks while we are walking through the other tables to get to our table. And we can wear masks when we leave our table. And we will be passing near people who are talking, laughing, sneezing, coughing.
Yeah.
So we can wear masks some of the time. We can't wear masks exactly while we're eating and drinking. But we can use the masks to lower our risk somewhat.
Yeah.
So overall, in terms of eating tomorrow night, I think we are in a somewhere in the range of low middle risk or low risk, very low risk.
Yeah.
One of the things I would like to do to help decide is I want to go to the restaurant this evening and look. I want to see how close their tables are.
Yeah, exactly.
If they have moved the tables farther apart, I will feel even safer, and I will feel at that point like we are in a low risk category. Everything I do outside the house every day. It's a little bit complicated, but all of this is running through my mind at the same time. I know something about the issues that I cannot control, and I do everything I can to take advantage of the things that I can control.
Very nice to understand about this. Thank you.